Hey, Kathy, and all you mysterious foodies out there.
Hey, Christy. Hello, everybody.
Yes, here we are, just us, chit
Uh,
chatting.
Good to see you and
Good to
hear
see
you.
you, and you too. So,
It's
how are things up
crazy.
there in South Dakota?
Things are things are fine. We're
Mm,
we're
surviving?
lots of things going on, right?
Yeah,
Post-election week and heavy into COVID, and my state is having a terrible, terrible flare-up. And
I know it looks like everywhere. So
yeah,
we'll
yeah, we're not
see with
alone
it.
anymore. Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
I'm so happy
crazy.
to be here with you today talking about our
Mm,
favorite stuff,
I
books, and
know. Oh,
having a
I
little
know.
wine together.
Oh, yes, of
That,
course. And I
that
liked looking at the big snowy window in the
I do. We
background.
just got a lot of snow yesterday. It's too bad we weren't podcasting yesterday. I was on a Zoom call though, and it looked like I was in a snow globe. I mean, it was just these
Oh,
huge,
really?
fluffy. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Cool.
How's everything in
Well,
Florida?
we've been flooded here,
Yeah,
so uh we had hurricane slash tropical storm Ada come through. And so things are a little crazy down here too. But by the time this recording comes out, maybe everything will be different.
let's hope so. And
Yes.
the good news is that that's what books are so good for, is they take us away, and
Yes.
wine certainly doesn't hurt
Yes,
either.
and I mean, like we've had so much rain that it's just what else can you do but stay inside and read? So I have
That's
been
right.
reading a lot.
Good.
Some
Good.
new ideas for next season even
I
maybe, so we'll
know.
see.
I know. I'm getting excited for kind of our wind down for the end of the year, but
We've
then
got some great
also
episodes coming up.
we
Yes, we
do,
do.
we do. So it'll be fun to look forward to 2021 in many ways.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And today,
Yeah.
we are going to talk about the book Pretty Things.
So this is the book's cover. Oh, I matched today. Look, I did not even
I
plan this.
know.
It's
You
such a
did
pretty
great.
book.
It is a pretty book, and unfortunately, well, this is mine. It's my Kindle.
You're
My
a
pretty
good
little
boy.
Kindle, which I actually probably need to get a new Kindle cover because it's starting to fall apart,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
So we are discussing today Pretty Things by Janelle Brown.
Yes, that's us. We're pretty things.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
I follow. I didn't.
You're
Yeah,
like,
but I'm like,
the
hey,
book?
hey,
I thought we were just
yeah.
talking pretty things.
Anyway, this was a good book.
It was a good book, and I think it's a great um, book club pick to talk about with your girlfriends or your friends and family. I think it'd be a really fun one.
I know. I remember when you were reading this and you were like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is really, really well written. And that
yeah.
was before you'd even finished it. And so when I started reading it, when we decided to do it, I enjoyed it too. I was like, it's so nice when you just find somebody that writes this well. But I got to tell you,
What?
remember when you told me the name of the author
Yeah,
and I looked it up? I just Googled her name, Janelle Brown,
yeah,
and it came back one of the sister wives.
yes,
I was like,
yes, I
wow,
do. And you were
she
like, "Oh,
writes?
she writes." I did not know what you meant when you said the sister wives, and so I was thinking, I don't know what that is. I do
I
now.
wasn't quite sure either, but I'd heard about the show and everything, but I was like, really, really? I mean,
This is a different
but
Janelle.
yes, and she looks much different, and I'm presuming she acts much
I
different too.
forgot about that. That's really funny. But now I'm so used to discussing books with you. So when I do read something I really like, I'm like, Christy, you've got to read this with
I
me, because
know.
I'm just used to, we talk about all of her books.
I know. I know. And of course, we have to have wine and food to go with
We have
this.
to. This book paired so easily and so nicely with many options for wine and food. So that was just
Right.
fun to figure it out. So
But
let's
I,
start
I
with the most
love
important.
I love that what we picked
I do
or
too.
what you picked kind of, but
Okay.
talk
So this
about
is
the
it.
wine.
This is the wine.
Yeah.
It is, and
Okay.
well, we always end up going with a lot of French things that for whatever reason. I'm going to pour some, Christy. Why don't you tell everybody about our wine?
Um, it's um, it's a Pinot Noir from Bourgogne, which is a Burgundy wine. Okay, so when you hear of a Burgundy, it means it comes from Bourgogne in France. And actually, on the website for Jadot Pinot Noir, they have a little thing that you can click on for pronunciation. So
Well, that's cool.
yes,
For those of us that aren't as easily slipping into the Frankenfile world.
right, because their website is Love Jadot, and they claim to be America's #1 French wine. And we've done them before, but not a Pinot Noir. And so anyway, I think it's pretty good. But let's see. Okay, let me see what the notes are. Exceptionally elegant Pinot with complex aromas of plums, raspberries, and cherries, and fresh red fruit flavors in the mouth, with earthy floral, mushroom, and mineral notes, and balanced acidity. I think the translation is a little. Maybe we could get on their website as the English writers, so that we can make sure that it did sound like I wasn't speaking English. Wasn't my first language, right? I was reading it exactly, but there was lots of ands, and
there is a very fruity taste to it initially, but I do taste that earthy after.
I do too.
Yeah, and I like it a lot, but it really you know how there's like dirt on mushrooms?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm tasting, but that's what I'm imagining.
I think you're smelling the mushrooms and you're just associating the dirt with the mushroom.
Maybe. It is very earthy.
It's a fungus after all,
Fungus among us. By the way, look, we're both drinking out of stemless glasses today.
I know. And this is the first time I think I've done that. I was like,
I don't either. And
I like it.
That's funny because it occurred to me today. I thought I normally will drink out of a stemless glass, but for our podcast, I always fancy it up and get one of the stem.
I know. That's so funny that we both went stemless today. And I did use this wine for the food we chose. So that's why I have a whole empty bottle right here. I haven't gotten that far into it.
Yeah. So let's talk about our choice for the food. And it is right out of the book.
Yes.
As is the wine, because she discusses a Burgundy, a nice Burgundy. But we chose Coq au vin. If I pronounce that right, Christy?
Oh, très bien. We can say it with American accents.
Well, I'm from the Midwest.
You said it very good. My très bien was very American.
We are having Coq au vin.
Très bien. Très bien.
And I right away knew the recipe I was going to make, and you seemed to know right away what you wanted to make too.
Yeah, well, you told me you were going to do Ina Gardens.
Right.
And so I looked at it, and I was looking at it, and I just, I play around on, with Google looking at different things. And I ended up liking the one from the New York Times.
Mm. Who is was it like Mark Bittman, or do you know who the...
It was a woman's name. I had it up earlier. But let's see if it goes to it. Melissa Clark.
Okay.
And I don't know, how old it is.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as when it came out, actually, I probably could tell that too. But, and, it was it gets picky because I do have the New York Times subscription.
Yeah.
But it's not the advanced one. So all of a sudden I started losing the recipe, but thankfully I'd printed it out first. So, but it was interesting, Kathy, because I started making this on Monday.
Oh, really?
When we're filming. We are sort of. We're recording on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I started on Monday, so it's a 3-day affair.
Okay, see, Listen, I love all things Ina Garten. I feel
Right.
about Ina Garten like I do Daniel Silva. Okay, like you
Mhm.
can't do any
Mhm.
better than Ina
Mhm.
Garten and Daniel Silva.
Right.
But I certainly do love exploring new recipes too. But this is the reason I did not want to do. I mean, I think she makes it
Oddly
simpler.
enough, I felt it was better because after we've been drinking wine
Hmm.
and podcasting, I
Mhm.
seldom want to do an extended
That
recipe.
is really difficult. That's true.
So on Monday, you marinate the chicken in the wine for
Okay.
24 hours, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's probably Ina Garten probably had that one too. And then on Tuesday, I cooked the main part of the stew. And so that today I just heat it up and do the last part with some onions and mushrooms and put it together.
So you've already
And
braised your chicken.
yes, I have. And I did
Okay.
that yesterday afternoon, evening time, because it has to cook like an hour.
Hmm.
And so I
And you're
did all
later
that.
than I am too. I mean, so
Yeah.
you guys are ready to eat when you're done, I'm sure.
Right. And, so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I have it all done except for the final step. So then I said, well, why don't I just make this whole thing a French meal?
And so
So
what
I'm
are
going to
you
do
doing
like
with
the
it?
courses. I'm going to do the courses.
Oh
So I'm
my
going to be
gosh.
like, yeah, because, I've kind of always liked to do that, but I don't get the opportunity because I don't have anybody that will, put up with it, I guess.
Sit with you
But
long.
but now I got kids that are old
And
enough,
everyone's
that
trapped.
yes,
They're
yes.
not going
So
anywhere.
right. So we'll start with a little aperitif or whatever, although I didn't get much in that department, but I did get a little bit of champagne so we could, have that because that's in France. Usually they have like a cocktail before and then they go to the
I knew
table.
I liked them for a reason.
Yes. And then they go to the table and they have wine and water and that's it. And they usually have like a first course, which is like a vegetable usually or something. So I've got um, some little petite zucchinis that I'm gonna
Oh,
just braise. Yes,
nice.
and then the coq au vin. So the main thing, and then you have the salad after, which is usually just lettuce with like vinaigrette.
Yeah.
And then you have the cheese course.
Mm,
So we have
sign me
some
up.
cheese and then dessert. So
So did
it
you
lasts a long time. Hopefully I think you need to give me some like questions for the table. So this is going to be almost like my holiday meal because I
I
don't
was
know
just gonna
that
say,
anybody's going to be around for the holiday meal.
you know, I do like the idea of what you're describing where you do things in courses instead of like traditionally for Thanksgiving, what we do is we put everything out at once.
Hmm.
And I've always disliked that you spend hours and hours and hours preparing Thanksgiving and then you're trying to get it all hot at the same time. And
I know.
it just seems
It's
such a silly thing to do. So,
yeah,
but
this is how
I
they did at meals on just a regular night. I mean, they wouldn't necessarily have the cocktail part and they may not have a dessert. They might just do cheese and maybe a piece of fruit or something.
mm-hmm.
Um, but it's always the salad was after the meal and then the
Hmm,
cheese. And
interesting.
then, you start with a vegetable or something like that.
I like it. Well, I'm
I do
anxious to
too.
hear how your cocoa
And
van
I
turns out.
got some bread.
Did you
Got
get
to
some
have the
good bread?
French bread. I went to get the baguettes and guess what? I also got pastries. So
Oh
that's
my
dessert.
goodness. You guys are in for a treat tonight.
I know.
All thanks to
Uh,
pretty things.
yes, thank you, pretty
Thank
things.
you, pretty things.
Anyway, all right. So
Well,
we should
that
talk about the
just
book.
sounded delicious, but let's talk about the book because
Okay,
it is a great book.
right. You want to tell
So,
us a little bit about the author?
yes, first things first. So, Janelle Brown, I'm going to show you a picture here because we can do this now because we can see each other. It's just a
Hmm.
lovely photo, by the way, in her jacket. I just thought it was a lovely author photo.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Nothing like the sister wives. She has brown hair and she's young and pretty. She's a
Okay.
pretty thing.
Okay. Anyway, Janelle Brown is a previous New York Times bestselling author. Of other things besides this novel, she has written Watch Me Disappear, All We Ever Wanted Was Everything, and This Is Where We Live, in addition to Pretty Things, which is her latest. Her books have been sold in 24 countries around the world. This Pretty Things was named best book, not the best, but a best book of 2020 by Amazon. So that's obviously not a bad
No, I
endorsement.
wouldn't turn that down.
Okay, here's the best part: is that it is Pretty Things is being adapted for television by Nicole Kidman's company, and I am so excited about that.
I am too.
Yeah,
I am too. It's going to be good.
it is. And there is a new limited series featuring Nicole Kidman right now, and I cannot remember the name of it. And I was going to look it up. We watched the first one. I think only 2 of them have been released, and it's kind of along the lines of how they released Big Little Lies, where there's just there was a new one released every week, just for a short, I think 6 weeks. But the feel of it reminds me, I can see the treatment that her company would give this, because it's just very atmospheric, right? Like so this takes place initially in a city, and then they move out into, I guess, the great, the Great West. And it's, just a stunning setting. And I can just see this being a really cool movie.
It's called The Undoing on
There, thank
HBO.
you.
Yes, our sound editor.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's looks very good so far.
Yeah. I'll add that to my list.
Yeah, I think we've just watched the first one, but this one ends up taking place largely in Lake Tahoe and in a mansion, an old family wealth mansion. And it's very cinematic when you read it, I think. Didn't you think?
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, I can still picture it all. And yeah, there was a lot of interesting, the whole theme that we talked about on, a couple books this season is the gaslighting.
I know.
That's happened again.
It's so interesting that we unintentionally have run into this theme, but it definitely is alive and well in this book.
Yes.
And there's a lot of really current issues that she's pulled in here. So the main character is, I guess, a social media influencer at some point.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Like us, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, like us. And I just, she just brings up, Janelle, the author, brings up so many peculiar and bizarre things about that world. What you do just for a picture, and then that becomes your reality. And what do we think about
really, really something that, we, as a little bit older than the main character, I can't hardly relate, it's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
But like our kids' generation, some of that, I think they feel it,
Well, I think it's certainly, a social media influencer doesn't, that wouldn't influence me, right? That wouldn't influence my buying decisions. Although unless Ina Garten said something, I might,
right.
But
and Reese and her book club.
Reese, pretty much that will do it. But as far as looking to social media for that kind of thing, that's a new development, and making a living doing that, and having other people think that that's, it is the reality. That's what they see. But yeah,
I don't think it's as new as we think. It's because I think that started as soon as there was any type of media.
Mm-hmm.
So like with
Probably.
TV and movies and, and then it became placement of products and that you wouldn't even know,
Yeah, that's true.
And then, but now with social media, it's like everybody, and then that gives you much more pressure because it's like, everybody is seeing, in your group is seeing this
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis. It's not just like, okay, I watched that movie
Yeah.
that one time, that one year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I just thought it was, but it was so interesting to see this character's take on it and what she had to do, like while she was getting ready for a wedding, and how she created this kind of world for herself, and then the undoing of it when she needed to step out. Very interesting.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Mhm.
I think that would be a great book club topic, if you, especially if you have people from different ages, like you said, because
Right.
it is everyone. Like, I would be curious to talk about that with my daughters, if
Mhm.
they had read this, because I'm sure their take would be so different than mine on it. They would have a lot more to say,
Right.
from a perspective of knowing what that world is like, that social media influencer stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, it is. And but you're right. You mentioned the gaslighting. That, I mean, it really showed up towards the end, and then you really
Mhm.
could see what was going on. But I was like, what is with all these people that we keep running into, these characters? And is maybe, are we seeing more of it in literature because we see a lot of it in society?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we do. I think that it's probably been going on all the time. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
look at it back, you know, before there was even TV, probably there were people that manipulated other people into just doing to be under their thumb. Like, bad people were out there and there wasn't
Yeah.
much that could be done about it. And I think also, I gotta say, it's been a very patriarchal society,
Mm-hmm.
and that can happen a lot too, and just people would just accept it. But I think now that we see everything so much, and we have so much such reach, that people are inside our lives, that they're starting to see, like, wait a minute, this is not so functional, what's going on here.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, but it's pretty sad. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. We should stop it.
Everybody should just stop that whole gaslighting thing.
It is it's very interesting how she weaves it into the book.
Hmm.
She does such a good job of presenting these characters, and you think you know their motivations, and you really don't. As in real life, right? Like, we never
Hmm.
really know somebody else's motivations.
And for those of you who might not really know what gaslighting is, because it's
Oh
kind of a
yeah.
weird thing, it's kind of like somebody makes you think that you're crazy, even though they're the ones that are doing something wrong, so that at some point you're thinking, well, I just have to do this and I just have to do that to make everything right, because it's me that's not making things right, where it's the other person is just manipulating.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, manipulation, I think, is another really close synonym, don't you think?
yes.
Where you tell somebody that, no, your take on things is wrong. What I know is right. And it's
Yeah.
dominance, right? And it's control.
And it's so subtle.
Oh yeah.
So subtle that
Yeah.
they don't realize it. They start thinking maybe they're right,
Hmm.
because everybody has insecurities.
Yep.
So it is. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing.
No, no, it's not ideal, but it is
But it
great
makes for
for
a
what
good
I was gonna
mystery.
say. It's great for a mystery. you know, Back to the social media thing. One thing I love the topic of this book was, whether you can reinvent yourself, and if you can, what does it take to do that? And especially now when our lives are online more, I just
Right.
love that topic. I thought that was a great topic.
Yes. Well,
You
can
know,
you? Can you reinvent yourself?
well, I don't know. I mean, I think you can edit, and I think you can evolve,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure about. I mean, I do believe in change 100%. So,
Right.
um, but I think it would be harder if your whole world was
Is already
online.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
because
I agree, because I sit there. I mean, honestly, every so often I'll think back of something, and you can't go back and think and have regrets, but I'm thinking, man, glad nobody, was around to watch me do that, because that was just really bad what I did. Not like bad, like I didn't rob anybody. Okay. So don't start trying to find any kind of ways to put me in
Christy has
prison
not
or
been that
anything.
exciting.
I have not been that exciting, but I know there's behavior or, immaturity and things like that, you sit there and go, well, thank goodness that wasn't online for everybody to see how immature I was in that situation. Or
Yeah. I I always think I try not to hold other people um to I try not to hold my opinion about other people attached to how they were in the past, because I wouldn't want the same thing. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
a high school friend or something. I mean, I don't even know. I just had this conversation with somebody recently, and I thought, well, you can't hold that person to what they said. It was my husband and I were talking about a family meeting a long time ago. I was like, we're not going to hold anyone to what they said 20 years ago one time,
Right.
because you hope people won't do the same for yourself. But if you have put your whole life online, like this
Mhm.
woman in this book has, and then trying to reinvent yourself, that would be a challenge.
Yeah.
Still doable, I think, but definitely
Yeah.
a challenge.
Yeah, and I do think that's a hard thing. I mean, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've gotten less judgmental, less,
Hmm.
because but there's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
people that are not that way, and they're probably kind of lonely now because nobody's perfect, and they're
for sure.
every single little thing that's ever happened in the past is something that, yeah, yeah. Well, they were, yeah, that was a whole nother topic in this book. See, we could talk forever.
We could. You could go on and on. Do you see what behind me
Hey
there?
there. Hey, May.
There's our little May dog, who's our little spoke dog.
Mascot.
My husband put in a dog door for her, so
Right.
she
Is
can
she
come
afraid to
and
go through
go
it?
out of my office as she
She looks
wants
like
to.
she's just like looking at it.
Well,
Like,
this is new. Now she's gonna sit there and just debate.
Aw.
May matches our little motif today too. My
I
sweater
know. Oh
and
my
the
gosh, she actually kind of balanced you. Got the pillow, May, and you in the middle.
Just
Awesome.
all intended. So well thought out.
I know.
Well,
We
today
should,
was super fun, and
yeah.
I really liked the book. I'm glad you liked the book. I think our
Yes.
readers would. It's a good book club episode ready to be
Yes.
had. We got the
Yes.
recipes for you. You can pick.
Got the
We
wine.
got the wine. And of course, be sure to go to our website at www.gameofbookspodcast.com and subscribe right there on the website. And we will email you the new episodes that come out each week.
Yes, because next week we're
Yeah.
having our second GOB Club
I know. I'm so excited.
episode. And, uh,
It's with, yeah, it's going to be
yeah,
really, really fun. It's
yeah.
featuring,
Some of our listeners will be on the episode. So that's
yeah.
going to be fun too. I'm
Yeah.
excited to meet them.
We were just talking about it's kind of a different wild world because we don't know everybody. And you and I can do this, just talk all the time. It's so fun to have new people in the mix. And so we just don't know what that will bring. So that'll be really fun.
Yes, it could be exciting.
Yes. Yes. So the next episode, the GOB Club, is for the book Undercard by David Albertine. And we're really excited
Such
to
a
see
nice
him
guy.
from Canada. He is,
Canadian,
yeah, he's up in,
yes.
yeah, of course he's nice. He's Canadian.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm excited to see him. And of course we'll be on YouTube as we are now. So you can actually see us, I don't know,
We'll have to get,
every day in your house if you want to. You can pretend like we're there.
please do not
We can
encourage
be
that.
part of each other's
Look at
bubble.
May is even like, what? Every day? What? She's just
Hey,
judging
May.
us. Yeah.
Every day you'll just play it when you go, well, we're going to put some GOB podcast on so that May thinks that I'm home or something.
And so also please follow along on our social media. At Facebook and Twitter, we are at GOB Writers. And on Instagram, we are at Game and Books Podcast. And you can see what we have going on a daily basis. And
We got some fun stuff. We got contests.
we do.
Yeah. Check out
Whatever
our website. Yeah.
crazy things we think of.
Yep. Yep. So,
So,
all that's left is a toast to our health.
and happiness.
Cheers.
Cheers.